Well, hello, welcome to I Love Gay today, sponsored by GayRealEstate.com. And we are here with internet sensation, Aaron Goldenberg from the Mean Gays. How are you?
I'm great, Matt. How are you?
Oh, fantastic. It's great to connect with you here. It's a week ago, I had no idea who you were. And I watched the Righteous Gemstones, something that that you
Oh, okay.
acted on.
Yeah.
And I've seen all that. But along the way, all of a sudden I saw this video. It was on Twitter actually. And my first reaction was, oh my God, I think I hate these guys. And
You and the half the gay community. Yeah.
but that's the beauty of it is that then I started
Mhm.
seeing you on TikTok. And then next thing I know, I was like, it's comedy and we're making fun of ourselves. And I think myself and the rest of the gay social media world just fell in love with you guys.
Yeah. It was something that I think I mentioned this before, but it's not a thing that we ever expected to take off quite like that.
Yeah.
Um, I I've had viral videos in the past on Instagram and TikTok and all that, but my Twitter up until posting this video had 2,000 followers, and I'm still only at like 6,000 something as of right now.
Yeah.
Um, but I had never had a video like hit Twitter and kind of like, and then like spin off into all these memes and
Yeah.
uh, people commenting on it and all that, and that was pretty wild to experience.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But I also kind of realized like, oh yeah, I mean this skit came from a place of truth of like experiences I've had where I've gone to somebody's house for a hookup and just felt very awkward,
Yeah.
and then whatever taking it with the characters of the Mean Gays, like, okay, what would they say in this situation? But yeah, it was pretty wild to see how many people had like very, very strong responses
Oh,
to
yeah.
it.
Yeah. I've even seen on TikTok some of the stitches where people are putting their input on that, especially. And I think the number one
Yeah.
of all of them is the hookup where they come over and the look on your face when you open the door, and then Jake Jonez, your partner in crime, in the
Yeah.
background, and then he just looks and you guys miraculously nailed it right on the head, and it made that's what I think made a lot of people go, oh my God, the stitches I saw were saying this is for real, guys.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's such an awful feeling
Yeah.
to be on the receiving end of that. And I mean, I think what I've kind of caught on to with a lot of the tweets or the video responses or comments is that people assume that somebody like Jake or myself have have never experienced that, and we're just making fun of
Yeah.
people that
Yeah.
get rejected. And I haven't like come out and defended myself because I don't think I need to, um but I think what I would say if I was talking in person with that, it was like, no, I've experienced it. I once had, this is a true story. I was at a hotel, um, and this guy was like 20 miles away, but he really, really wanted to come over. And I was like, okay, sure. This is my address. You're hot.
Yeah.
Come over.
Yeah.
Let's have some fun. Um, and so, I go downstairs. I'm waiting out front of the hotel. His car pulls up, and he never took his foot off the gas. He just
Oh,
drove around the parking lot and left.
oh.
And I was like, what?
What
What
just
just
happened?
happened? So then I went to my app because I was like,
Yeah.
hey, was that you? And
Yeah. Yeah.
whatever. And then I saw that he had blocked me.
Oh.
So
Oh.
I guess during his circle around the parking lot, he was like, nope, 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 nope. And I thought I was looking great at that
Yes.
time. And, like I'm not a person that I would say like my photos misrepresent me. Like, yeah, of course I'm putting some, sexier side of things like underwear pics and whatever, but like it's still very much me. And I guess they just, for whatever reason, really, really hardcore changed their mind
Yeah.
once they saw me. And that was weird. And I went to sleep probably an hour later, very depressed and
Yeah.
confused. But yeah, I think that's just one story, but you know, we all experience that in some kind of way.
Yeah, I think, yeah, as I was gonna say, I think we all have, and or at least most of us. But
Mhm.
I think the beauty of it is that, it's you kind of got it this new take. You're shining a mirror on ourselves, on gay culture, and and the rest of the world sees this, and there are even folks that I know that say like, I don't even know if I want other people to see this because I don't want them to know this about us. But it's how are we going to get better unless we touch that nerve?
Yeah, I think too, like there are certain people in any you know, area of life, but certain people that just kind of like deserve to be called out a little bit. And
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think mean gays don't really get called out much because they're hot and everybody wants to feel accepted by them. And
yeah,
um, you know, there are definitely people in my life, for instance, that are like the hot gays that I know, like either just through the internet or whatever, who maybe don't give me the time of day until they see that I have a following online.
yeah.
And then they're all of a sudden like, hey, I'd love to like meet up and hook up. And oh my gosh, you're so hot. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you totally ignored me for a while. Um, it's
Yeah.
also so funny because the whole like mean gays thing, I think, is now like inseparable from these characters and this skit. But that
Yeah.
wasn't even the original idea. I'm so glad that's the caption I landed on
Yeah.
when editing. But the original idea for the first video was just like something along the lines of when you can't tell if your gay neighbors are complimenting you or not.
So that's where the caption came of like POV, the mean gays tear you down with compliments. Um, and that first video actually went pretty viral on TikTok and Instagram, but didn't make its way over to Twitter with some random person posting it like that the hookup one did. Um, I actually I do have the other the other captions that I was thinking of. I texted
Yeah.
it to
Yeah.
my friend who was the camera person for that first one. So
Yeah.
I messaged him. The original idea of the video was the mean gays are saying nice things, but are they really being nice or are they trying to destroy me? Something along those lines. So my caption ideas are bottoms when they smell a threat, gym gays trying to be nice, or
Okay.
and then the one we landed on POV the mean gays tear you down with compliments. So
And
I'm so glad we landed on that last one. Because again, the mean gays now has become its
oh
own
yeah.
thing.
Oh yeah. You're gonna trademark that. But
Yeah.
but I've got, I think everybody's gonna in the next few months are gonna just walk along and say, being hot is way harder. or or just I've got so many little one-liners from you, and people are just jealous, and it's just like
That's yeah.
I love it. But you've been creating content, and so has Jake Jonez. You're like I said, your partner in crime on these. And how did you two come together to be able to create this? Have you worked together in the past?
No, so literally we met probably a few days before creating that first Mean Gays video.
Wow.
I had been sent his stuff for like a couple of months. He made this really hilarious video that just opens with like "Welcome to Chili's," and
Yeah.
he's like standing in front of a Chili's, and it's like his journey inside of like his 29th birthday or whatever. And I had been sent that by a few people. And I was like, oh my gosh, this guy is so funny and so cute. And like, that's kind of as far as it went. I didn't even follow him at first, but then I kept getting sent his stuff. And then one of them that I got sent, I saw that on his shirt, first of all, the skit was really funny. So I kept watching. On his shirt, it said Atlanta. And I was like, does this bitch live in Atlanta? So then I went to his profile and I saw that
Yeah.
he had tagged the location as Atlanta in almost every video. So I messaged him, as I've done with other creators that I knew lived around me. Um, and I just said
Yeah.
something along the lines of like, hey, saw you live in Atlanta, love your stuff. Would love to meet up, catch a meal, and maybe like collab on some videos. And he messaged me back pretty quickly and was like, oh my gosh, yes. Like neither of us were following each other before that. And then I think we met up for dinner the next day. That day we filmed 2 or 3 videos. And then I think we met up a few days later. And that's when the first Mean Gays video was filmed. But I loved how quick he was game to just jump in. And one thing that he and I both were looking for is like we kind of got tired of and felt bad like asking our non-content creator friends to like hold the camera or be in a skit or whatever. It's one of those things where I think when that's part of your work that you do, you're much more understanding and likely to jump in and help. So one thing that Jake and I both have done for each other is like, even if we're not in each other's skit, to just help like hold the camera or be the person behind the camera, having a conversation with them. And I think it's so wonderful having a collaborator like that. And also he's so funny and such a hard worker and has such great instincts. And I think there's a reason why his own stuff is blowing up, and he's just so fabulous. And I love that we live in the same city and get to work together.
I do too. I think we all do. And I think between this interview also and then the bloopers that you show, at least people will be able to see these guys are actually real people. Because the bloopers, they bring it home. The bloopers were really good that you posted that.
Yeah. There are so many comments or retweets or stitches or whatever where people are like, they're like this in real life. This is too real. This is whatever. They're too pretty to be self-aware is one tweet that I saw this morning. And I was like,
wow.
All right. Thanks for calling me pretty. But yeah, the bloopers I think are one of my favorite things about shooting, because I truly do find Jake so funny and then just the material so like absurd. But I love writing them and I love filming them, and I do love sharing the bloopers as well, because I know that for me as an audience member, when favorite creators of mine share bloopers, it's one of my favorite things to watch. So I know that there's a desire for that, and I'm so glad that people enjoy the bloopers as much or even more than the original videos.
I know I do. So no, I think this is fantastic. And mostly I'm really glad that it worked out that we were able to carve a little time out of your schedule, because you got a lot going on right now, to share a bit of your story with our audience here.
Sure. Well, the actor strike is happening right now.
Yes.
So, I am working in a restaurant for the first time in 12 years.
Wow.
And then I'm also in rehearsals for a show. And then, so just between those two things, currently my schedule is pretty packed. And then on top of that, trying to like continue filming and putting out content and everything. And, let alone things like working out and having 3 meals a day. Like, where do I find the time? But yeah, I think I'm getting a bit more used to my schedule, and I'm very hopeful that the AMPTP gets their shit together and that the strike ends soon and we get a good deal. But also I as hard as it is to like not be working in film and TV right now, which is such a love of mine, I know as an actor, having had my best year last year booking, at risk of breaking the SAG-AFTRA rules, like I'll just choose not to say the names, but I had a really good year last year, and not even everything has come out yet that I shot last year. And even with all the things I booked and all the days on set I had, the amount that I received was not enough to cover my rent for the year, let alone all my other bills. And I was like, oh, this is crazy, because one of the shows is nominated for Emmys now. I had paragraphs of dialogue with the lead of that show, and I got paid the same amount for that role as somebody who had a one-word line.
Yeah.
So if their line, they come in and they're like, sorry,
Yeah.
I got paid the exact same, even though I was on screen for almost 2 minutes and had paragraphs of dialogue. So
Yeah.
I am very, very grateful for SAG-AFTRA and the union and everybody working hard to get a better deal, because I know that it's going to, in the end, be so much better for all of us artists and make life a lot more sustainable.
No, that's good. And I think it's good for the rest of us out here that really don't know these things. It's really brought it to light. So that's like a side effect that hopefully will help you all in the future as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But thanks again. I really appreciate all your time, and
thanks for having me.
look forward to connecting in the real world someday.
Absolutely, for sure.
Thanks again.
Feels good.